Hi everyone, today we're going to learn how to play the first solo from Walk This Way by Aerosmith, and it sounds like this. Cool, so in this Walk This Way guitar lesson we're going to look at all the scales and the techniques you need to be able to play this solo. Before we get started, just remember, check out the description below for a link to our website where you're going to find all the write-ups, scales, techniques you're going to need to do it. And please subscribe to our channel for more of this kind of video. So let's get started. First of all, got to know what key we're in. We're playing over this C riff. So basically we're in like a C minor combined with major pentatonic. If you're not sure then, check out that write-up because there'll be the diagrams on there. So what we're starting with is this lick here. Okay, so that is 11th fret on the E string, full bend, and then it's kill it when it's bent, so don't let it come back down. Okay, and then it's 8th fret on the E string, and it's hammer on and pull off from the 11th fret on the E string. And then we're down to the 11th fret on the B string, and then it's up to the 8th fret on the E string, and then we're going to match that note by bending the 11th fret on the B string. Okay, that's a full bend there. So if I get nice and close, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So in terms of picking on this, I would just say do what's comfortable to begin with. I'm trying to use a bit of hybrid picking here, where I'm using my middle finger and I'm using the pick, but it sounds just as good with just picking. So I would start with that. Okay, and after that we've got, which is a really nice riff or lick. Okay, so let's just get that bit first. That's just running down the C minor blues scale. So we're starting on the 8th fret on the E string, then 11th fret on the B, pull off to the 8th fret on the B, and then it's going to be 11 on the G string, sorry, and then down to the 10. So that's our blues note there, and then down to 8 on the G. So we get. A bit close, you'll be able to see what this is. Okay, and then we've got this cool. Which is such a cool sounding lick. So what's happening there is with your third finger, fret both the D string and the G string on the 10th fret. So you can pick both of them. So it starts G on 10, and then D, and then back to that 10th fret on the G string. But we're going to start bending it a little way. So we're kind of catching it on the way up. So we're getting this sort of chromatic. That's what the sort of sound we're going for. We're doing it all from the bend. Okay, so we're getting close. It's without a bend, 10 on the G, 10 on the D, back to the 10 on the G, but slightly bent, and then finish that, make that into a full bend. So we're picking twice through the bend. Okay, and then we round it off back to the 8th fret on the G string, and then 10th fret on the D. Okay, that's probably going to take quite a lot of practice if that's not something you're used to. When I learned this solo, I've really never seen that in any other song. And that's probably why I thought it was so cool, but it does sound awesome. So spend a lot of time practicing that. Bending technique is going to be try and keep it the same, except now you're going to have a flat finger instead of playing the tip of your finger. But you can use your other fingers behind as well, just to help push that string up. Okay, so that's sort of the first half. Let's listen to that again. Okay, I'll play that slow. And after that, we've got this part that sounds like this. Okay, if I play the whole lot, you'll hear how it kind of goes together. Okay, let's look at that lick. Okay, so what we're doing first of all is 10th fret on the B string, semitone bend, and then we're on to 8th fret on the B string, and then down to the 10th fret on the G, and then back up to the 8 again. So we've got, okay, and then we're into this slightly faster tone a bit. So we're starting with that bit. So get that under your fingers first. Okay, because this next part, that's just a load of notes. So I'm going to look at a way to break this down. It's something you could use in anything else that you're learning. Okay, so on its own, that's like 16 odd notes or something. It's kind of too much to remember. So we're looking for patterns in it. It's either doing 11, pulling off to 10, pulling off to 8, okay? Or it's doing 10, pull off to 8. That's what's happening here. So it's going, that's 11, 10, 8, and then it's 2, 10, 8, and then it's another 11, 10, 8, and then it's another 10, 8. Okay? So what we've done there is we're breaking it into chunks, which we can practice on our own. So we'll call that A, 11, 10, 8. Okay, so that goes A, and then B is just 10 to 8. So it's actually 2 B's. So it's A, B, B, and then A again. And then it's another B. And that's it. So you can think of it as ABBA with a B on the end. So A, B, B, A, B. Okay, that's really going to help when you're speeding this up. It's just too fast, too many notes really to sort of keep on track of it as you're playing it, especially when it's at the tempo of the song. But if you've got these like larger bits that you are able to keep an eye on, then it makes it much more playable. Okay, so let me take it really slow. We've done this 8 on the B string, 10 on the G string, back up to 8. And then we're into this pull-off bit. Okay, so remember it's just A, B, B, A, B. A, B, B, A, B. And then we've got a bend here, full bend, 11th fret on the B string. And then you release that. And then it sounds really out, but it's 7th fret on the D string. That's because the chords goes back to an A. So let's just look at that bit again. That sort of second half of the solo. Okay. So I know there's just a lot of notes there. Take it really slowly, actually break it down so that you're able to actually think about it, have it in your head before you're playing it. Don't try and sort of play it as you're thinking about it. Don't try and play it note by note. Put the bits together. So as if you were reading a sentence, you wouldn't read it letter by letter. You'd read the words, then gradually you want to look at whole sentences together. It's the same with this. We don't want to play it, we don't want to think about it note by note. We want to think about it in strings of notes because it's easier to fit together. Okay, so we've got that bend, and then we've got the 7th fret on the D string. So if I play that second half, I'll play it fast and then I'll play it slow. And then slowly it's... Okay, and then we're back into the main riff. So what I'll do now, I'll play the whole solo, I'll play it fast and I'll play it more slowly. So fast we've got... Okay, and then a bit more slowly it's... Okay, and that's all the notes of it. You might have noticed as I'm playing that, I'm trying to play it a little bit swung, so it's more, instead of, so it's a little bit more bouncy in the song. I think it's probably best, if you're just getting used to this, if it's maybe speedy and you're getting used to this idea of putting like the chunks together, start playing it just straight. And then as it gets more comfortable and you're able to think about the whole lot together, you're not sort of wondering what the next note is, then start putting the swung feel in. So you can hear that rather than, that's more straight style. But I would recommend just doing it straight to begin with. It's just easier to play. And then once you're comfortable with it, start putting the swing in. Cool, so that's all the solo done. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel for more stuff, and I'll see you next time.